Alrighty, I've got recording on. I had to make myself a little note, so I remember to do that. Joy is not going to be with us today. She is working. But we do have the deputy in slippers here. Lois, a.k.a. Kuklajaya. So, those of you who are new, some of the names we know people by were their old Ustream account names. And here on YouTube, they don't necessarily have that same name. So if I call people by a name that you don't see in the chat, that's why. I did see somebody asking about the video from the last class, and it is here on YouTube, in my YouTube channel, which is Following the Paper Trail. Or is it Follow the Paper Trail? I can never remember which one it is. It's either Following or Follow. No, it's Follow. Follow the Paper Trail is the name of my YouTube channel. So you can see it there. It's also on my website in the schedule. I have a link to it there on the schedule. So the last couple of, since I've been back doing shows, I've left them here on YouTube because we aren't doing specific projects just yet. I don't want to get started on a project or schedule a project until it's ready to go. Because that just gets me into issues. So, and I'm still in determining exactly what I want to do with the shows. Whether or not we want to do projects specifically on the shows, or we just want to do things like we've been doing and have the projects go straight to video. I'm still trying to get that determined and figure out what is the best, not just for myself, but more importantly for all of you. So I'm just trying to determine. I know a lot of people don't like the projects done on the live shows because of all the chit chat, and I'm reacting to comments, I'm reacting to questions, I get sidetracked, that sort of thing. Whereas in videos that I do straight to video, I don't have that happening. So I'm still trying to decide. So in the meantime, I still want to do shows, and so we're going to do what I've decided to call playdates. So today is a playdate, and at playdates, we just play with whatever. Whatever I may have on my desk, whatever I may be feel like working on. If I have something new, something, what if we try this? What if we do this? What happens when we do this? That sort of thing. So I just want to keep them light and easy breezy kind of thing. So as I ease back into doing the live shows again after a bit of a break. So I am working on getting stuff still completed. I didn't do a show on Sunday because I was hip deep in working on stuff for the next steampunk project that's coming up, and that's the In Suspense 2. Nothing to show yet. Again, I am also not showing projects until they're ready to go, because that's also gotten me into trouble in the past. And so I'm just waiting till they're ready to go before I even show them, because otherwise I feel compelled to get them put up. I feel compelled to get them scheduled, and then that just gets me into trouble. Yes, I am, Lois. I am recording. Thank you. So we're just going to play today. I'll probably end up working on some tags and that sort of thing. I didn't have a whole lot of time this morning. Part of the reason why we're just doing this kind of show today too is I had to go get my oil changed and my scheduled maintenance stuff done on my car, and it's just easier to just wait for it. So I was there for a couple hours, but I had fun. I was doodling. I'll show you that here a bit. I was drawing on my iPad with Procreate on my iPad, and so I was drawing bunnies because Easter's coming up. So who knows what you may see. I may have some Easter card stuff coming up or something like that. I'm really kind of happy how these drawing sketches are coming out, since it's a little bit different way of drawing than pencil and watercolor. It has the same look, but it's different drawing on the iPad. So as I'm learning how Procreate works, it's a program that is only for iPads. So I'm playing with it, figuring it out, start doing stuff with it. So excuse me. So like I said, we're just gonna play with some tags and pockets, pet project, with the pockets, envelopes, and tags. And I think under the P could also come pages, like the page we did on the stick tape album. So I'm glad to see there was some feedback that I'm glad to see a lot of people are liking the hockey stick tape, and some of you are starting to receive your hockey stick tape from wherever you ordered it and are using it. I think it works great. I think it's working out just fine, and I'm loving it. I'm getting really positive feedback, so I'm glad you're all enjoying that. As you know, I've always had all of my binding methods available to everyone to use, so I'm glad you all are enjoying it. So, alrighty. So anybody have any quick questions? That's the one nice thing about leaving these on YouTube too, is I have the chat enabled so you can see the chat. But everybody needs to be good girls and boys today. Lois, she's got her steel-toed slippers on, but she won't be afraid to boot it. So, but anyway, so we can go ahead and just, we're just going to play today. So, all right, let me switch cameras and we'll get rolling. Before we do, let me just real quick show you I'm so excited about how these little sketchies came out. So let me, so these are ones I was doing this morning while I was getting my, I'm having so much fun playing with these, and I just need to transfer these then onto my computer so I can use them on some other stuff. So that was one bunny. This is the bunny I really was enjoying doing. He was fun. So, and that's just on my iPad. So, I was having fun. So I'm going to be playing more and more with the animals and stuff. So, working on, I've got a lot of the sketches started. So not on the iPad. I just have to transfer them over onto the iPad for the ARC animals. So we're rolling. We're getting stuff done. So. So I was having fun making bunnies. So, all right. What I want to do, I think the first thing I want to do is I want to make some pockets for that we can put onto this album, which I think I just called it the hockey stick tape album. Had these cute little pages that had these little flappy doodles up at top and bottom. But in case you wanted to have some smaller tags inside as well, so I want to make a couple of pockets that slip down inside these pockets. One thing is nice after having this just sitting out is none of the tape is lifting. Many times, sometimes a tape will lift, but none of it's lifted. So hockey stick tape, awesome stuff. Gotta love it. So anyway, so with these, I'm gonna make these in a contrasting paper in the craft. So let's see, how wide is this page? And so if I want to add some little tags, but I still want this big pocket available, but I want to add tags to that, I can do so. So if my pocket, what size is my 7.5? So if I wanted to do, so 3 3/4 is half. So if I wanted to do a couple, let's call them 3, we'll do 3.5 inch little pockets that we can put tags in. So, and they can have little tab doodles on them as well. So I'm just going to go, because they're going to fold. How deep are these? So these pockets themselves are 5.5 deep. So I don't want to go quite that deep, because I want a little bit smaller tags. So let's go 3.5. I'm going to do a couple of them. And you can use, as you may have missed that show when I talked about it, you can still use the fabric on the spine, so you can just cover over where I've got this taped spine. You can cover it over with fabric and have this underneath. Or you can just have the tape on the inside and have the fabric on the outside. Or you can cover it over the entire outside with the tape. Or you can cover the center of the spine now with your pattern paper. All I'm doing is I'm not switching 100% one way, staying old way, whatever. I'm just giving you options of different ways that you can do things. And then that gives you basically a bit of, it's the same with my binding basics and beyond, where there's like 40 some odd bindings in there. All I'm trying to do is give you a menu or a bag of tricks to draw from, so that you can then use those to determine what you want to use for your project. So it's really quite that simple. It just gives you things, opportunities to do whatever you want to do right now. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in half. And then I think I wanted about 1, 2, 3, 4. How deep was that again? So if all I took, okay, so that's what it. So I want to have like a 3/4 inch overhang and tab. So I'm going to do, this is 3.5 by 11. I've scored it in half, and I've scored a 3/4 inch tab. These are just arbitrary dimensions. You can adjust them to whatever dimension you want, especially once you see the concept of how I'm doing this little pocket that slips in. So then I'm going to just fold this in half. So I'm going to make 2 of these. So it's got the little front flap. You see, then these guys are going to slip inside, but I'm going to be closing up the sides. But see, these then could slip. Excuse me. Oh! They can slip inside the pocket. The sides will be closed up so I can have smaller tags, but it still leaves a big pocket open. So it just adds into the big page pocket. And I could have one on one side, one on the other. I could do 4 of them if I wanted to. It all comes down to kind of what you want to do on that. So maybe I put these on this side and I do something else on the back. But this is more just because this album is sitting here than it is because I want to add these specifically to this one. So I've got my little front tab, which I can do something to. You can punch that edge, you can round your corners, whatever. This back, I can also do that. And I'm going to turn that into a tab. So I'm just going to use my tab punch. Well, it's not really my tab punch, it's my envelope punch board. But let's be real. 90% of people use it more to make tabs than they do to make envelopes. So I'm going to do this at 2.5. And I'm going to do this one at 2.5. And also at the end. So one at each end. And I'm just going to round my front little doodles. Just do those. And I'm going to I have this extra strip, so I'm just going to use it since it's sitting here. This is the excess. So I'm going to cut this in half. So they're 2 3/4 inch-ish strips. So I can make this where it wraps all the way around, or I really only need it to go. Oh, this is a blue, which is one. I just need it to wrap around to the back side. Cut it right there. Scissors. And this is just to close up the edges to make sides, sort of a side to the pocket. To make a pocket, it doesn't have to be closed down the entire side. I'm going to go just below, not super tight up against that fold, but just below it. I can wrap this around, wrap that around so that it still flips over the edge, but then that creates the pocket width. Again, this doesn't have to be closed for it to be considered a pocket. It's still a pocket. So I can do this with glue. I could do this with my score tape. It can be out of an accent color. If you don't want it to like slip down inside a bigger pocket, this can get attached just on as a pocket itself. It can be attached in a U shape, so it's a pocket this way or this way, as well as a pocket going down in here. It's just something that's very versatile. It can go on the face of a page or inside of a pocket of a page. Yes, Night Sky Creations. As you may have missed that part on that show as well, is you can take, in fact, I'll show you that next if you want. I'll use some of the natural color stuff, and I'll show you how you can ink it and grunge it up a bit or coordinate it to what you want to do. And I have a clean mat, so we'll do that on after we finish these little pockets. Okay, so that has created that pocket. Let's do this one. So again, this can get attached onto the face to be a little pocket that can go on the face, especially if you did this as an accent. This little strip here is an accent, seeing it just wraps around with those little tabs. Or, as I was doing, can slip this. So, and I made these, some of them my tabs were on opposite sides, like so. So then I can just, all I need to attach then is this little tab guy. And I'm only going to attach it at this 1/4 inch closest to the fold so that I can still slip something like the pattern paper or something underneath it. You can also attach pattern paper to the face of a page first before you attach these down. So you can still slip pattern paper underneath there. So then that forms little pockets, and we'll grab some tags that we can slip down in there. And then we'll make them somewhere at the moment. So that those can then slip in. Those pockets are a little deep for this size tag, but with a little bit bigger tag, those fit inside. And yet I still have the full size pocket available. So this is just a way to add in a little bit bigger tags that I can do that. No, I have any bigger tags that are here at the moment. So We'll just go with those. Oh, are these too wide? Yep, those are too wide. So, I just make some tags that would fit down inside there that are the appropriate depth. But it's kind of like a little piggyback type pocket. So, quick and easy to make. You do it out of cardstock. It can be done out of pattern paper. It's got the tabs. What would be cute with this is I've got a top and a bottom. I can make a third one that goes on the back, maybe in the center. That's got a center tab. Or maybe I do these two, and then this page I have one that's in the center with the tabs, so that it creates a tab for the page. Or maybe I just do, put this one on this page. Maybe this one had gone on this one, and I did a center one, and then I go, top and bottom. So it's almost like tabs for each of the pages. So you could kind of piggyback these pockets in there, one for each page, to create the tabs for the page. So quick, easy piggyback type of pocket for any page that's got a pocket on it already, or you can add a pocket to any page with something like that. So here, this is what I want to do on days like today. This is like, that's why I'm calling it a play date, is that we can, okay, knock down the clean one. Where did it go? There's a super grungy one. There I sit there and I tell you that I found the clean one, but now I can't find it again. What am I going to do with it? That's classic. That's a classic. Where did it go? Let's see. I'm trying to think. Of course, I'd trip over it if I weren't doing a show right now. I put it somewhere that's thin so I wouldn't forget where it was. And guess what? I forgot where it was. Oh, well, we're just going to do it on our glass mat. Okay, here's the natural or cream colored tape. So we'll just take a length of it off. And I can just lay it on the glass mat, or you can do it on one of your non-stick mats. Just stick it down on there. And then we can grab whatever color. That's fine. Crushed olive. So if you wanted green tape for your binding, there you go. It's green now. Maybe I want to throw in a little oxide with the wild honey. Add a little yellow to the edges or something. Okay, yeah, that didn't add a lot of color, but to you guys, but I can see it. And then let's say, let me grab a stamp and a stencil real quick. I'm using some VersaFine. So you can stamp on it. Let's see. So you can stencil on it. You can stamp it, you can stencil it, you can ink it, you can add paint to it, color to it, whatever you want to do. So, and this can be part of your binding, spine, whatever you want it to do. Oh, Lois, I'm sorry. I didn't do blue. Well, Night Sky Creations at, or Diana is your name. Okay. At $8 a roll, I'm not sure where you are, but at $8 a roll, I guarantee you have plenty there to do a lot of albums for $8 a roll. But, and then it's ready to go. If you have, after you've done this, if you have some wax paper, not wax paper, freezer paper, you can stick this down to the shiny side of the freezer paper, and then it's ready to go. So if you wanted to do a bunch of this in advance to use on your project. You're in Australia. Okay, well, that's good to know, because I wasn't sure how much the paper was going to cost, or the tape was going to cost there in Australia. I haven't found out whether, I'm sure they must. I know New Zealand, which I know is not part of Australia, but it's nearby. It's closer than the U.S. is to you. But New Zealand, I know, has hockey. I just have never heard of Australians having hockey, but I know you could get it shipped to you. So, but anyway, that gives you some ideas of that with the hockey stick tape, that then when you go to use it, whether it's here or here, you can do fun stuff with it, you know, with the color. So I could put that on there. With the color and the stamping, it kind of adds another element to it. So there you go. Just let it dry or dry it, either way, and you're good to go. So, all right. So we did a piggyback pocket. We did a showed you how the tape, to do the tape real quickly is, and now we can actually do this with just regular tags, or actually we're going to do this with this tag and one of these tags, and how this, we can add this tag onto there, and just some twine. So what we're going to do is we're going to make kind of what I'm calling a string pocket, for want of a better term, on a larger tag. It could also be on a page. It could be on the outside of a pocket. It can be just about on anything, so that we can just add a pocket, but the pocket's made out of string. Now, we can punch holes just inside that we do the string through, or we can do it on the edge so it keeps the cord from bouncing. I'm going to show it on the edge because that one's harder to envision, though doing it onto the inside, it's easy to see there too. So okay, I'm going to lose the glass mat because the glass mat glares on camera and it bugs me. I've never been a glass mat kind of gal. Okay, pencil. If I were my pencil, there I am. So I'm going to come down about 1.5 inches and up 1 inch. So that's 2.5. That's reasonable. So 1 inch up 1 inch from the bottom, and then 2.5. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to use a smaller one, and I'm going to, I still haven't fixed this yet. I'm going to take, because this is bugging the crap out of me. I don't remember which side it was. That's hand sanitizer, but it's got alcohol in it. So it'll clean some of the, there, see, now it's already moving faster. Oh, much better. It cleans the gummy out. So if you're ever gummed up and you don't have like alcohol, rubbing alcohol or something, hand sanitizer You know, just basic hand sanitizer, gel stuff. I put that in there, and it cleans it all out. Cleans that gummy out, because you've seen me struggle with this the last couple times. First, you want to get all the. It'll dry if you do this and then let it sit for a little bit, but I need to use it, so. Okay, there's a quick tip for you too, is cleaning the adhesive stuff out of here. Also, it takes the adhesive gunk off of your scissors or off of your chompers, anything that you manage to get some adhesive residue on. Hand sanitizer works awesome. All right, so I've got my hole punches. Get all the napkin out now. Okay, remember how I was having such a hard time? It would go. Now it's easy to move. So, okay, so I'm going to take and do a half circle right on the edge at my markings. So it's this little half circle. Alternately, you can come in about 1/4 of an inch and punch a whole circle, but I'm doing the half circles so that my cord goes all the way to the edge. Let's go the red. So I want to go, leave myself enough to tie. So I go twice the width of whatever this tag is plus enough to tie. So, and I need 2 of those. And it's a whole lot cheaper, Monica, than buying the cleaning solution. Anything with like an alcohol, ink type stuff. Yeah, just use hand sanitizer. All right, so equalize that out. Tie it. Actually, on something like that, this is where using your pinky or another set of hands. Oh, come on, that finger doesn't want to be in there. So I tie it in a knot, and then I tie it in a bow. It almost sounds like the old song. Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them? Do your ears hang low? So there's one at the bottom. I'm going to do it to where one bow's on one side and one bow's on the other side, because then I can use it as a 2-sided tag. If you're going to attach it to the face of a page, rather than putting it into a pocket or elsewhere, then you just put your tying it. Hello, wake up. Okay. See, then you can slip a tag in underneath that on both sides. So it's a cute way to add little tag onto a tag. You could put multiple tags. And if you wanted to attach this tag so where it's a pocket, you can have it to where this ties. This can just loop to where it ties both on the front side, like so, and then you could attach this down. So this becomes a pocket. If you attach it like in a U shape, you can have it that way or that way. So it can become a pocket, or it can be tags, or you can have it be, or you can put tags on each side. So it's just a little bit different way to piggyback a tag on a tag. So maybe put it more off to the side, like so. But again, if you don't want to do these ones where it's on the edge, because that's just keeping it from slipping up and down, you could also do, so if you were doing it, let's say we were doing something like this on one of these pages. So I could punch holes in my page and string it across the same sort of way so that then my tag could slip down inside that. So it doesn't have to be onto a tag. It can be onto a page, especially if you haven't made them 3D yet. It would be a little bit more challenging that you could punch a hole that you can make big enough just with a paper piercer. So you could pierce a hole in that you could fit your cord down through. But it's a fun way to put something on a page too. So it doesn't have to just be onto a tag, but let's pretend this graphic 45 tag is not there, and it's just the strings that are on the page that you put the tag into. So that'll be a fun way to make it. So this large tag here is one of the graphic 45 tags. You can buy the tags themselves. They have them in 3 different sizes, a couple of colors, but they also now have a die for you to cut tags as well. So, and the ones from graphic 45 come with the grommet in them. So, gotta love me some graphic 45. Okay, so on a similar kind of note, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh. Oops, no, I need my. So I'm going to take an 8.5 by 11, just for convenience sake. Not necessary. You can make it any size you want. Excuse me. So if I'm going to make my main body be 4 inches, that leaves me with 7 inches. So if I go 3.5 from each side, and that leaves me 4 in the center. So this is going to be kind of a trifold insert / tag. I could make it whatever height that I want it to be. I mean, this is kind of a good size width-wise, but and then I can adjust the heights to whatever size I want it. So, this book is sitting here conveniently, so it could be added onto one of these pages. I just need to cut it down. So if I want to use it on one of these, I'm going to cut about 1 inch off the height. So let's just go ahead and do that. That way I can use it on there. So it's now 7.5 inches tall. So now what I can do is I am going to cut a pair of slits either down the length, or I can go across the width. With that slit, a tag can slip in, or going down the height, it can slip in this way. So let's go for a vertical it kind of does almost like a belly band. So I just want to mark 1/2 inch up from the top and bottom. We'll do a second one that has it going horizontal. Okay, so then I'm going to make this about 1 inch wide in the middle, so I can come in 1.5 inches on each side. And that's nice and easy to do. Just line that up with the fold. Whoop. And then come over here, line it up with the fold. That's about 1 inch wide-ish. So I've got my lines that I can use to cut. Well, I can now erase. So that gives me it's about 6 1/4 inch, so I can make a 6-inch tag. So I can then slip in that slip. A tag slips right into that slip. And then I have these that can fold over it. This can again be flaps that you can attach to a page. So let's say we decide, let's attach that right there. This gives me flaps, flaps, and I've got a tag. And what I would do is I would attach, if I were attaching this down to my page, I would attach it vertically on each side of the slit as well as over on the edges, so that then that little belly band slit will lift up to be able to slide that under. So that's with a vertical slit. We can do one at the height down. Three and a half inch on each side with 4 inch center. Again, these are dimensions that I'm just arbitrarily doing. You can make this any dimensions that you want it to be for the size of your project. Okay, so same sort of thing. I think I might make the horizontal one a little bit wider. I'm going to just come up. I'll come up 1.5 inches from the top and bottom. How's that? And 1/2 inch in from the side. I'll mark that. So then I can go ahead and cut that slit. And by making it wider, I can make it narrower. I could have made this one wider as well. Actually, I could make it a double one if I wanted to. In fact, we might do that. Because that way, with this, you have room in between to put something in there. So this one, I can do that just barely squeaks through that. It's too small. So I can do a 3-ish inch, maybe a little narrower than 3 inches. I'm going to go squidge under 3 inches. That's about 6.5. Cricket, there it goes. So that gives you a tag that slips in there, and there's still space here in the center to put something in. Fold over, fold over. And again, this can get attached onto the face of a page, gives you flaps, as well as space here, and then the tag. So what I'm going to go back down, after having done that one, I'm going to make this one a double. Make mine a double. and I'm going to come in a 1/2 inch from my sides, and I'm going to go with the same height. I can still see my pencil lines. Regardless, I'm 1/2 inch top and bottom. I'll come in a 1/2 inch from this side. Where's the fold? There it is. Couldn't see the fold through my ruler. So there, that's going to give me a double. So that can go through that one. And we're going to pretend this one's bigger. It's taller, and we can put another one that goes through the center one, so you can have it be a double tag. Or if you wanted to have, like we did on that one, have this space here in the center for if we're putting something on that, you cannot do the slit here and just make it a wider slit so that the tag then fits in there like so. So it can either be a double band or a single band. So just ignore those cuts if you wanted a single band. So that's another nifty way of, and you could also just make this an insert without the flaps if you wanted to. So that if you didn't want the flaps, you could do that too. So slot pocket. So we've done a piggyback pocket for a page. We've done a slot pocket insert. And then we've done a string pocket. Okay, these are going faster than I expected. I'm going to run out of ideas. I'm not going to run out of ideas. All right, so that makes sense. Nobody's talking because you guys are paying attention. So. Okay, we're going to make a two-tone pocket envelope this time. So I'm going to make this, since I want my envelope to be about 4 1/4, I was thinking 4 1/2, and then I want a 1/2 inch underneath. So if I'm going to cut a half sheet, a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, I'm going to make this two-tone, so I'm going to do this cracked with the black. And then this is the width I want it, so I'm going to go to 4 1/2. Actually, if I do it 4 1/4, so I cut a vertical half and a horizontal half. If I do them both in half, I can make 2 envelopes out of it. Perfect. I like that idea. Okay, so along the bottom of the long one, I'm going to score a 3/4 inch. And then I can lay this on top. Actually, I have to fold that up. Set that inside, because then you don't have to figure out the math. It's just like, okay. So that is 1 3/4 at the top. So same thing here. So if I center that on there, looks like 5/8 on each side. So 5/8 and a 5/8. Alrighty. So I can fold under one side. So that wraps. And wrap that around. This one wraps up, and then our flap is going to fold down. So then I can do some rounding in the corners. Oops. Alrighty. And I also want to do a large half circle finger pole for the tag that goes down inside. Okay, and I want this to come about an inch deep-ish. So I'll just mark that. Or if I decide I want to go less than that, we can, but I'll go inch. Center, punch a half circle. So I can put star tape on my tabs. Hold those onto the back side. And do the one on the front. So it gives you a two-tone envelope. You can fit a 4 by 8 1/4 tag inside of there. So that's a nice big tag. Let me see if I have any big graphic 25 ones sitting here. Should fit in there. I thought I did. Perhaps not. Could have sworn I did, but I guess I didn't. I got some around somewhere. I'm not sure where they are though. But you get the gist. So you can then make a tag that fits inside. You could actually, put some sort of closure on the envelope. You could actually use this as an actual envelope as well. The other thing too is if you were going to make this like an actual envelope, these tabs could go on the inside. They don't have to be wrapping to the outside. I just happen to like how it looks wrapping them to the outside, but then that makes for a really cute envelope. And out of 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11, you can get 2 of these large envelopes. This is also something that could attach to a page. Now, I made it too tall to fit like in this album, but if I'd have made it a little bit shorter, it could have attached on there. And it could also be, by attaching it, you can turn it into a pocket as well as a slide-in pocket versus the little flapped envelope type pocket. But you could actually make an entire, album just with these guys too. But 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11, you get 2 envelopes. Yeah, it's it's close to a size. It's not quite as big as a policy envelope. Policy envelope is a little bit longer and a little bit wider, but because I was being a miser with my materials and wanted to get two out of the 2 sheets, it's a little bit smaller. So it's about 1/2 inch shorter than a policy envelope. Okay, well that was my list. I went through awfully fast. That was the list of ones that I had written down for right now. Let's make a little closure for this one. I love this little leaf stamp here. So we'll stamp it on this tag. So we can cut this guy out after he dries a little bit. So we might finish up a little early today. So then that's going to be on my little string, but I need to, I'm like going, what can I use for my little doodly whopper doodle? My little string closer thingy. Because the hole's too big. So put another layer back behind it. We wanted to, let's go up high here. A little ways down, about 1 inch below that, so let's go there. Ouch. Stab myself. So I just put my little brad in there. And a little hole right here. Again, if I'm wrapping cord around it, I don't want it too tight, so keep it relatively loose and get your finger underneath it. And so then let's go with the aqua. And we can punch a small hole in there. Tie my little string on there. Shorten it up just a squidge. And And then I'm going to unravel like those little string doodles on there. And then on here, just make a bit bigger one. And let me put one of these guys, but I'm going to do the bigger hole first. And do this around it to make a hole protector. Always punch the little hole first, because then you can center the big hole around it. So I tied a knot about 3/4 of an inch up so that I can then frame my end again. And then, voila! It would be cute to actually have, I think it would be even cuter to have a second leaf on there, because that's such a cute little leaf. So that little stem thingy on there, I'm going to use that to attach. Oops, whoa, way too much glue. So that kind of makes a cute little closure on there, having that couple of leaves on there. So then you can get inside. Makes a cute little graphic envelope with a little, just, you know, your typical button wrap type closure. Super simple, super easy. Voila, voila. Easy peasy. That's a cute little stamp. That is a Josephine Kimberling for Impress. Impress, you can probably, they may still have this one available. You can go to impress.com. Impress is a local Seattle stamp store that does some of their own stamps, and that's one of their stamps. So, anyway, so that was fun. You could do the same thing like with feather stamps. Feather stamps would be cute for that as well. You could do stuff on the envelope. This happens to be a crafter's workshop with some more believe-y stuff on there, so you can do something with that. But fun. So, but anyway, that's kind of what I had on my list of to-dos today. to do today. Does anybody have any questions or anything? So this is, like I said, this is just a play date. You never know at a play date what I may have up my sleeve, what we may be working on. We may be just working on a pet project. We may do a freebie album like we did last time. It's just kind of whatever strikes me at the moment. Kind of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of day at these shows. Let me know if this is something that you enjoy doing, if you want to just do it every once in a while. As I said, projects, we will be getting back to doing projects again. Not to worry. We're still going to be doing projects. It's just whether or not we're going to do them straight to video, or if we are still going to do them on the shows, or just exactly what we're going to do in that regard. So I know people like these. These are kind of like what I used to do on YouTube years and years ago, where I do just simple little projects that went on YouTube. So we can do that for the live shows, or as soon as I get a couple more projects ready to go, I can start getting those onto the schedule. I can really go either way when it comes to the projects. One thing I will be doing with the projects is I don't want to rush them. I want to spend more time on them, but I also don't want you to... I know if I spend more than 4 classes, for instance, on an album, people start getting really bored, which is why I also tend not to do them. So sometimes I think it's just fun just doing quick and easy things that can be applied to pretty much anything. Or like when we did the album last week, this is super fast how it goes together, that you can use it for something quick and simple and that sort of thing. So feel free to give me some feedback. Drop me an email. The best way to reach me at laura@lauradenisondesigns.com. But I do have several projects kind of in the works. I'm kind of bouncing around between 3 or 4 of them right now, trying to get them all, keep them all moving in a forward direction. So anyway, also if you ever have any questions, feel free to get in contact with me, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can and to answer your questions as best I can. Now, again, this video will be up on YouTube, and it will also be up on my website in the schedule under the date of the class. I may put them in the archives as well probably I'll put it under Playdates or Pet Project. I'm not real sure which one it will go. And then that album, I'll also put I'll put the album in under Hockey Tape Binding so that you know where to find that. But I need to get those put into the archives. I also have about a year's worth of classes. I think a good chunk of 2017 is still, those projects are still in the schedule. The videos for those are in the schedule, but not necessarily in the archives. So that's another large item on my to-do list that has to get transferred down into the archives. I have enough to keep me busy for years. So anyway, so again, any questions, give me a shout via email. And other than that, tentatively schedule a class for Sunday. As always, check the schedule to see. I don't know. Did I get this one on the schedule today? I'm not sure if I did or not. I know I put it in. I might not have. I know they went up on Paper Doodles, but I've been having to deal with my car, and I have to go get Trevor's brakes done tomorrow. So I'm just been scheduling all of that stuff. So anyway, everybody have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. Stay safe. It's snowing in a lot of places. We're supposed to get some snow tonight. We finally melted. Our backyard finally melted. We've never had snow on the ground this long. There's still some snow along the streets and stuff like that, though. And now it's supposed to snow tonight. It's just weird. Weird winter. So anyway, thank you all for joining me here in my studio, and we will see you next time. So peace out. Love you guys bunches. Bye for now. Oh, and thank you, Lois, for doing this on your own today. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. You're the best.